I won $10,000 cash. My boyfriend of 4 years and I have been having a childish fight and I did something I can't undo. He's a full-time student who works part-time in the summer. I have a full-time and part-time job, he studies a lot. We live together and mostly live off my pay while he stretches what he makes in the summer. Neither of us have ever owned a car because it isn't necessary where we live. We both walk or take the public everywhere to save money. In the morning we stop at a corner shop shortly before splitting up for the day. He buys cigarettes and coffee. I buy fruit for my lunch and, on the weekends, lotto tickets. He always makes fun of me for paying the stupid tax. But I figure my indulgence is cheaper and doesn't come with lung cancer. Sometimes I jokingly tell him not to expect a penny when I win. The day I won he answered me with fine, keep it all. It's not like I'm crying over a penny of nothing over here. I showed him I'd won. He stared for a bit and then dismissively told me I'd probably spent more than that on tickets. In response I asked what I should blow his half on for myself. I was honestly joking at the time but he suddenly became angrier than I've ever seen him and I didn't want to admit I'd been kidding because he was so pissed off it pissed me off. He wants a car, and I don't. He keeps trying to steamroller me so I'm refusing to share the money. In honesty I'm willing to spend or save the money for us but I don't want a car. I won't use a car and it will keep costing us money in parking and maintenance. After weeks of him sulking and lecturing me about his entitlement to the money he took me to a car lot and tried to embarrass me into going along with him in front of a salesman. I threw a tantrum after we left without buying anything and I went to my mom's and paid our rent up to the end of the year and donated the rest to charity. He doesn't know. I fucked up and don't know how to come clean. TLDR, I haven't told my boyfriend I spent the money I won because I was upset he was being a dick. He's already angry at me. What do I do? Top comments. Pseudonymously. I fucked up and don't know how to come clean. I don't think you fucked up at all. Deleted. Me neither. You spent your money buying the tickets, it's technically you're winning money. It's not like you're married, that'd be a little different. He's just mad that he didn't support your buying the tickets in the first place so now he looks entitled. I think you spent the money very wisely. Plus now he doesn't have to worry about rent. He better not complain. Bien theridonethats too. Agree. The only way this would be a fuck-up is if OP has a tax bill coming due to the winning with no funds, anymore, to pay it. Oh OP. No, I rounded down to $10,000 because I was counting after tax and a celebratory dinner. Spock 5 eyebrow. All in all, OP, you sound like a very level-headed person. Your boyfriend, on the other hand, sounds like a huge jerk. Why are you with someone who treats you like that? Breakup train. You paid up rent for both of you? Or just yourself? Oh OP. It's my place from before dating him. I never ask him for rent because it cost me the same either way. Winged 17. Just to be clear, he's living rent-free and you share finances meaning you pay for everything unless his part-time job gives him enough hours? And he's demanding more money from you? Metric. I think you should seriously consider everyone's responses. Your boyfriend does not sound like he's respectful or appreciative of the effort you put into your relationship. That said, do you mean that your dad gave you money when you turned 18 so you could get yourself out of an abusive situation if you had to? Because that's the first I've heard of a parent doing that, but it's seriously an awesome idea. I know a few women who keep saving specifically because they want to have insurance in case of a bad situation, but never a parent initiating that sort of savings. If I ever have children I'm totally stealing that idea. Oh OP. Yeah, my dad sat me down and gave me the grown-up talk about verbal and physical abuse and consent. How to recognize it, what to do, how not to be abusive. Then he gave me the money and explained how to use it. He did this for all his kids, boy or girl. Update. Long story short, a couple months before I won, my boyfriend had secretly dropped out of school to join a Christian rock band, he's not Christian, and bartend to cover his new coke habit, which explains so much. He took me winning as a sign they were about to make it and should go on tour, that's why he wanted the car so damn much. Obviously we had a huge fight. I sacrificed a lot because he told me he'd never be happy without that degree and he threw it away to play rock star while I ground myself down at dead-end jobs. I told him I agreed to support him through one dream and if he was done with it I was going after my dreams now. He made all kinds of promises to me about how he'll take care of me when he gets famous, but I told him the only promises I cared about were the ones he made when I agreed to help him through school. He broke up with me until I come to your senses. As far as I'm concerned, that's already happened, so I had his brother pick up his stuff. He tried to cause problems about me illegally evicting him, but I reminded him I had some text conversations where he said your apartment your problem and I don't live there anymore, so deal with it. I have no idea if that's legally enforceable, but neither does he. My lease is up in 3 months and I won't have to worry about it after that. It's been really rough accepting he's not the guy I fell in love with anymore, but the way he's been acting has made it a lot easier. I'm mostly angry I sunk so much of my time and money and compromised my future for him. But I guess it's better I found out now instead of later. I got tested in case he cheated or was doing other drugs, and so far so good. I'm also 9,000% sure my ex staged the 3 break-ins we had in our apartment after one of his friends told me around that time my then BF was trying to sell my prescriptions and his laptop that I ended up replacing FFS that were supposedly stolen. I told the cops and his friend agreed to make a statement, but what's happening with that yet? Other than that, I'm happy to report I'm only working one job now that's actually something I want to do and pays way more. My apartment is much nicer without his junk, and now the toilet is never unflushed and the seat is always down, so I've got that going for me too. With all my free time I've rescued a kitty and I'm learning to knit. I was planning on becoming an old cat lady, but I also went on my second first date ever. It was with another woman, which was kind of a surprise but also somehow not. We've got a second date planned and I'm incredibly giddy with anticipation, which is really nice. Oh, and I told my dad how much he liked his dump him fun/consent conversation, and he said his grandma gave him one when he decided to get married at 18, not my mom, so he can't take credit for the idea. Edit. Thanks for all the well wishes, everyone. TL, DR, boyfriend dumped me, can't complain. Top comments. Monsieur Le Dude. Sorry he turned out to be such a heel. Getting dumped is never fun, but a bullet was definitely dodged here. My apartment is much nicer without his junk, and now the toilet is never unflushed and the seat is always down, so I've got that going for me. Which is nice. Shirley 92. Being dumped is never fun, but I think in OP's case, it's the best thing that could have happened to her, lol. And can't forget. With all my free time I've rescued a kitty. Yay to rescue animals. Rogue Kidda. Entitled, a coke addict, a thief, etc., etc. What a complete pile of human garbage. Congratulations on getting rid of him. Enjoy doing you, OP. Creeps__ta. LOL, and wanted to be in a Christian rock band, hilarious when you consider all of those factors together. Aura City. The toilet is never unflushed. The fuck? Did he not flush? OOP. Not usually, which made it so much more lovelier that time I forgot to check the seat and fell in. Rick 0. Yay kitty cat. Also, while this all really sucked for you to live through, I am sure that it will be the most delightful of anecdotes. Dropped out of school to join a Christian rock band is just about the dumbest life plan I can think of, especially given the general state of the music industry as a whole and of Christian rock in particular. OOP. It's very unlike him. I thought he was messing with me until he showed me the videos, not good. If coke explains all of what's going on, there may be other drugs I don't know about. He's not the same as when we met, I know that much. Update. Boyfriend broke up with me and left until I come to my senses, is claiming letting his brother pick up his stuff is illegal eviction, even though I have texts from his saying he doesn't live there anymore. Could he have a case? I posted an update after asking for advice, and someone recommended I make sure I can't get in legal trouble over the situation. I live in CA and had my apartment for 4 years. My ex lived with me for 3 years. He never paid rent or was on the lease. My landlord knew he was there and he got mail there. My lease is up in 3 months and I'm planning on moving. He left willingly, and when I texted him about some damage he'd done to the building that he'd promised our landlord he'd fix, he sent me 2 texts that I kept copies of saying your apartment your problem and I don't live there anymore, so deal with it. He sent his brother to my place to pick up some music equipment and I had his brother take all his stuff with him. My ex texted me angrily about how I couldn't just illegally evict him, but backed off when I sent him screenshots of the texts. Also, the police are currently investigating him for 3 break-ins to my apartment when he lived there based off one of his friends making a statement that he tried to sell him my prescriptions and his laptop around that time. I don't know if that's relevant. Could he cause me any legal problems?
I think my GF is cheating on me because I know my GF is not telling the truth about going to yoga classes. Me? M28, living together with my GF, F28, for about a year or so, together for 4. We both have a good relationship and nothing out of the ordinary. I work at a delivery company that does express deliveries all over the province I live in. Because we have express shifts, we have to take a delivery van home every day. We can also use this van for private trips. The company sometimes has to deliver very expensive goods. Therefore, the vans are equipped with a GPS tracker that can locate the van at any given time. A few months ago, my GF started taking yoga classes in the evening. So when we both got back from work, we would eat and, in case I was not on express shift, she could take the van to her yoga class. We live very close to a border. Europe has open borders, yay. But we can only go to other countries with permission of the company. It's an insurance thing as far as I understand. Last week, my supervisor told me that in 9 cases my van was in the neighboring country in the evening without permission. This was very odd, because she told me where she had the yoga classes, and this was definitely not out of the country. I knew I couldn't go out of the country, so I am sure I didn't. I didn't tell my supervisor about the yoga thing, but I asked him for the exact location so I could take a look at it. What I found out was, all the 9 times were exactly the times she had taken the van. A retracing WhatsApp times from the on my way to the time of departure are a match. I got home that day and decided I was not going to ask her up front. However, I did ask her where she had the yoga classes, and she said the same place as last time. So she is basically denying that she was in another country. During the evening, I made up a bullshit story that a coworker got in trouble for driving over the border without permission. She seemed a bit shocked or somewhat, but did not give any ordinary response or anything. The address I have is just a parking spot in some neighborhood. I drove there last night with my private car to see if I could find anything, but it's just houses and a park. A quick Google search shows no yoga things anywhere around. I could follow her the next time she has yoga class, just to see where she is going and then confront her afterwards. Or should I just tell her right now? This is all really stressing me out at the moment. Any advice would be great. TLDR, GF says she is going to yoga, but the company GPS tracker says otherwise. Edit, holy shit, this exploded. I will check your answers ASAP. Edit 2. I will give an update as soon as I have confronted her. This will only be possible on Friday, night shifts, etc. I've read all you comments, and I would like to highlight/clarify some of those. In my country, a car is either insured or it's not. Anyone can drive it as long as there is insurance on the car. There are a few scenarios which I can find in the comments. I know I am hoping it's not cheating, but I think that is the most obvious. She has used some drugs in the past, recreational, but has not done this anymore for a long time. I would highly doubt she would hide it from me if she was using drugs, since she told me about her drug past in the very beginning of the relationship, and she is very open about it. She also doesn't look any different as normal. This also makes me think that smuggling across the border is highly unlikely. I know everybody is telling me not to be a detective, but I want to confront her face to face, which is only possible on Friday. In the meantime, I have been doing some detective work to kill the time. What I have found out is that she has 2 girls in her Facebook friends list that live in this village where she has been going. I do not know them, nor has she ever spoken to me about them. I managed to pinpoint the exact address of one of these girls, and they pretty much match with the location the GPS pointed out. Don't worry, I will not go there. I can just use this as she would deny anything. I will give an update as soon as I have confronted her. Update 1 week later. Sorry for the late update, but I needed some time to think things through. She got home on Friday, and I confronted her with the fact that the van had been abroad without permission and that it had to be her that was driving there. She straight up said she indeed went abroad, but she didn't know I could get in trouble for it. I asked her to explain why she was lying about going there. She decided to do yoga because she has had some back issues from her past. However, she knew a girl, the one abroad in her Facebook, that was all spiritual and could heal her by doing a few sessions at her home. She knows I think this is bullshit, so she decided to tell me that she was going for yoga classes, but instead went to this spiritual girl. I was kind of confused because I expected something entirely different to be going on. I was also having troubles believing her. She insisted I went with her on Saturday to see that nothing weird was going on. So, I did. This girl did some weird meditation, drew some cards, and did some other witchcraft shit. My GF then had to pay 45 euros for this. I kept my cool, but to be honest, I am pissed off at this girl. The only thing she does is sell hope to desperate people. People with real issues that need to get real medical attention. Our way home was pretty awkward. I didn't know what to say. We talked yesterday, and I explained to her that I was angry because of the fact that she had to lie about something like this. She said she was afraid of my response and just wanted to see if this could help. I told her that she can do whatever she wants, except lie about it. She promised me she would never do this again. I am still really confused about all this. I think she is wasting money, and instead of throwing it at some freaky witch girl, she could be investing it in things that would actually improve her back. On the other hand, I am glad she is not cheating. I was almost certain this had to be the case. Anyway, thanks for your responses. Great help. TLDR. GF was visiting a witch, too scared to tell me. Relevant comments. Quebec. If she felt the need to lie about this because of how you'd react, maybe you need to consider your general reactions? Sounds like she was afraid of your judgment, and the phrase, freaky witch girl, seems to corroborate that. OP. I think I know why she was scared of my reaction. We have a big group of friends which we have known for ages, and we discuss a lot of things in this group when we are all together. There are a few dumb asses in this group who tend to believe everything about anything. I'm talking flat earth, chemtrails, steel beams, and hoaxing a moon landing. When these discussions take place, we disagree with each other, and things can get very heated. Even though we don't agree, we are still very good friends after these discussions. I am almost a 100% certain we probably once talked about mediums, alternate medicine, etc. She has probably heard what I said about it, and think I would never approve it. Donttllmishom. Definitely not the usual conclusion to this sort of story, this is true, but certainly more hopeful than the usual conclusion. A bit of advice, OP. If your girl is in pain, physically or otherwise, let her figure it out as she must. She's got junk to sort through. Long-term pain is never simple, and while you may not understand why she feels she needs to follow a particular path, please respect it. She has probably tried many conventional solutions that failed her, and may be highly discouraged. If she comes to hurt herself or others, obviously that is unacceptable, but chronic pain of any sort makes the sufferer question everything they had ever come to know about themselves and the world. There is a powerlessness to unpredictable or constant pain that is highly damaging. Let her talk when she wants to. Let her explore things that give her hope and make her feel powerful. Try to withhold judgment. This money could go towards something better, until she has seen it through as she must and draws her own conclusions. Once she does, reevaluate what you can live with and what is a divergence of values. You may come to find that there is ultimately no problem. Just the 2 cents of a former chronic sufferer who followed a similar path, came to recognize it for what it was, and is doing much better now. Edited to add. Lots and lots of chronic pain warriors replying in the comments below. It's sobering to remember how many different ways a person can suffer. My heart goes out to you all. I hope you all might find peace and relief. OP. I told her as well that she needs to do what she thinks is best for her, even though I might never choose this option. I was very confused when she told me, but this seems to put my mind at ease a bit more. Thanks.